welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to MATCHFIT Entertainment on a Monday night. You know what that means. I don't have to tell you. That's right. It's MATCHFIT's official coverage of Road Night Racing's LMU Season 13. I think we're round 8. Going into round 8 here tonight at Sebring. Sebring, yes. And look, a few new entries tonight, and as always, on a Monday night, J-Man right by my side, and very much lately, Isaac Ichiko as well. So welcome aboard again tonight, boys.
Yeah, great to be here, Davo. Isaac, welcome back, mate. Fresh, but maybe a little bit of jet lag, but still nonetheless back with the boys. Good to see.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Definitely happy to be back in the comms box. And hey, if there is any jet lag, I definitely don't feel it now. All I feel right now is hype and excitement. And back at Sebring, last time we were at Sebring, it produced some really great racing. So I'm hoping to see that again tonight. And I'm sure the boys will not disappoint.
Absolutely. And on that note, not too far away, Isaac and Davo, from what'll be a 20-minute qualifying session here tonight. Obviously, first 10 minutes occupied by the hypercars. Actually 8 registered in the field tonight. Couple of newcomers, Daniel Benefield and also Philip Jansen as well, to join the team out here tonight. And then the second half of that will be occupied by the GD3s. And I tell you what, it's a stacked looking GD3 field once again. Format for tonight, I believe we do have an hour and 15 out there on the circuit, and that will pose some interesting challenges for the drivers out there around the whole VE and fuel situation. Actually, we had, speaking of which, sorry, just to interrupt myself there, but we actually had somebody last week run out of fuel rather than VE, if you don't remember.
I clearly remember that. Thanks for reminding me there.
Sorry, mate.
We always talk about ring rust, and there you go. It is true.
I waited 7 days for that, Isaac. No, I didn't
Yes.
really.
He was saving
Sure,
that
you're
up.
looking forward to saying that tonight. I'm sure.
Oh dear,
You're
we
lucky I
love you,
like you.
brother.
I'll let you off tonight.
Yeah. Good stuff. No, however, Davo, we are into it, as you can see there. Obviously, just got a bit of witness of the calendar. We are well into it now down here at Sebring. So the deep part of the season now. This is the business end, and I'll tell you what, fascinating stuff around the points when we get there too, lads, because there are some really, really tight battles out there this season.
Yeah, for sure. There definitely is. Sorry, Davo, you go.
No, you go, Isaac. You are at the coalface with this stuff, mate. So we love your opinion on this.
The top 3 looking very, very tight in the GT3 class, and I don't want to say this, but it looks like Nathan Bewley in the hypercar class is well and truly, he could just not show up for the last couple of rounds and still be safe, but in the GT3 class looks very, very interesting. And funnily enough, last weekend I was saying to Matthew Clark that I do like to come in every now and then and try and take some points off the top runners, just whenever I can, get on the game.
Of course.
Yeah, and on that note, that was outside of that little blip that we just mentioned there. Man, the superb pace last week, Isaac. We got to congratulate you on the way that you wound that thing up. Was very, very impressive. Straight away, we're going to see some sector times coming through. Probably our end more than your end. I'm not sure what screen Davo's got up right now, but I can tell you what, it's always interesting to see who gets this tyre to work first in the hype, as we talked in detail last week a little bit with the drivers about what it takes. Nathan Bewley especially, I think we delve pretty deep into I guess that 10-minute session and how long it takes to get that tyre up to temperature on these hypers. And he was talking that you really got to stay out there for that full session, get that third, fourth, and maybe sometimes fifth lap in, but certainly the third and fourth lap.
Yeah, that's right. These tyres seem to really be in the working window for the hypercars, around 80 to 85 degrees. So that's probably around here if they're doing lap times of I think they're doing 147s when the tyres are warm qualifying. So what's that? Probably 4 or 5 laps in, you might finally get to see um, some relative times to what their pace actually is.
Yeah. And so looks to be Mr. Georgie Goddard out there, guys, first cab off the rank to start laying it down. He's just lit up a nice sector 1 and sector 3 for his 5.57. And just having a look now, Chris Fraser on his first run as well. A couple of guys quite light on the VE, Isaac in the field, Hayden Tegg and Chris Fraser really, really light on the VE. And obviously we don't get to really get a real read on the fuel level, so to speak, of these drivers. But we do know how much virtual energy that they've got on board. And what would be the advantage or disadvantage, mate, of running a lower VE versus fuel load?
So generally running lower VE, your car can be lighter, but then I guess the same with fuel because VE isn't really VE is more of a BOP thing more than anything.
Yep.
Balance of performance. Generally, I think it's just easy if you set up your VE, say 12% in the pit menu. It'll tell you, okay, 12% will give you 5 laps, or 12% will give you 10 laps, and then you just adjust your fuel to that, and then it should be pretty much bang on. But I wouldn't listen to me after last weekend.
Well, we weren't going to say anything, Isaac, but now you mention it again.
Well, I know I had said something. I was going to leave it alone there, but if we're going to keep bringing it back up. But anyway, nonetheless, yeah. Hey, welcome aboard in the chat box tonight too, Lisa, Haley, and obviously always Matty Clark, Brisket in Texas. Always managing to tune in a little bit as he gets a little relaxed maybe before his qualifying session starts, which will be around about 5 minutes time for Matty Clark and the rest of the GD3 field. However, at the moment, Georgie Goddard does go quickest first. Dan Benefield does go in there now on a 49.1, and we're going to see a lot of movement on this tower as these tyres start to come up to tempered. Naturally, you'd expect George being first in the queue to be the first to generate some better tyre temps, so just watch that space, and I guess inside the next 2 minutes, we're really going to see what pace these drivers do have out there. And speaking of pace, I have driven this track in recent past in different cars, not in a hyper, and I tell you what, anything sub 50 seems crazy, but these guys are going to go deep into the 40s here. What were you saying, Isaac? 48s? 47s?
48, 47? Yeah.
Wow. Well,
And
what's that?
interestingly enough, it looks like Bewley is still in the pit. Funnily enough, I said in the group chat that I have with Nathan, I said maybe you should just start from the pit lane. You might have a bit more fun instead of being 30 seconds out in front of everyone. So I do wonder if he's taken my word of advice.
Is that the play with obviously Goddard going super quick, and then the introduction of Dan Benefield, who does come with quite high credentials from what I've read?
As we see Goddard going
Possibly.
to the top with the 7.7 boys, 1:47.736 there. So very tidy lap, and Daniel clearly responded
On a magenta lap, yeah.
Mitchell provisionally second at the moment. Oh no, Tegg's just sneaking in there.
Yeah, nice 48.4. Here we go though, Benefield.
On there. Here we go. 47.1. Well.
Wow, what a great lap. Welcome to Rainlight Racing.
Yeah.
Just puts his stamp down and tells everyone that that he's here. What a performance just in that lap.
As Nathan Bewley sits in the pits and looks on.
Yep, exactly.
So it was a personal best in Sector 1 for George, but not so good in Sector 2. So he's got time. So 2.5 minutes remaining of the session here for the Hypers. And importantly, I think at this point of time, it does look like George is just coming down the Almond Straight now, heading down towards Sunset Bend, the final corner. Such a fast first part of the corner, and they really got to try and get the cars tucked in. Couple of real decent bumps right in the middle of that corner too. The Hyper seem to handle it with a bit of grace there, given the aero package. However, expect the GT3s to get quite nervous in there.
Daniel going quicker again. Well, look at the deltas as well, boys. So
46 on the cards.
Yeah, Goddard. Yeah, it looks like it. Goddard giving it a red hot crack there. Obviously, Dixon now just sneaking across the line to pick Hayden Tagg, pushing Robbie Mitchell back into fifth provisionally. But time is well and truly running out, guys. I suspect the GT boys are starting to queue up here.
47 with a 0 for Benefield.
Looking super comfortable in that hypercar as well as Benefield.
Good to see a BMW out in the hyper grid too, boys. Obviously, Jansen's rocking one as well. Lee Perkins, I thought Lee might have been here. He was driving one previously, but I don't think he's here tonight. So we can see the grid movement now out there. Matty Clark, pretty eager to go, just sitting there, just off to the side of the fast lane, waiting for his opportunity, which will come in another 25 seconds. But out there at the moment, Benefield does light up magenta in Sector 1 again, lads. Goddard's going to get through with around 15 seconds to go to have another crack at this one.
Well, he definitely bettered is that quickest lap we were just talking about earlier. But only by a smidge though, and he's definitely chasing that 46 by the looks of it. 7/10 away is George Goddard, closely followed by Will Dixon originally, as Dixie just runs across the line.
Yeah, his qualifying's over. As is Hayden Tagg, finishes that one out provisionally, P4. So it's basically down to George Goddard. I think maybe the only hyper runner left out there, guys. Not so good in Sector 1. Yeah. Yep.
That looks like a 46 by Daniel out in front. So great lap by him.
Massive lap. Big statement. Around 3/4
He's not here to mess around, eh?
No.
I kind of wish Bewley qualified now, so I could see between the two of them. But hey, maybe next time, eh?
Certainly hope Nathan gets off the wet tyre that he's sitting on in the pit lane at the moment.
Maybe that's his strategy. Maybe there's something that we don't know, fellas, eh?
Big lose, final corner. George Goddard. The numbers weren't stacking up anyway, so no real losses for him. He does start on the front row with Dan Benefield, and we do get to see the GT3s in action. I believe, is that Matty Clark leading the way for the GT3s with Noah Reid. And so this is the championship combatants here, guys, as well. So just something that we will touch on a little bit is the point situation. And Noah Reid and Matty Clark separated by 2 points in this championship.
Did you see? Looks like Reid just props, gives Clark a little bit, or gives himself a little bit of space, I suppose, behind Clark. Costas obviously forced to do the same thing. they just roll past the pit lane there. We've got a good clean run across the start finish line. And into one here now. The guys just spacing themselves out there a little bit. It's getting a little bit more extra temp into those tyres down that pit lane straight away before chipping into one. The bumps on one are notable. That's probably the most elevation change these cars will see across this lap here at Sebring.
What, driving over the curb?
Over the bumps in the final. That's about the maxed elevation change at Sebring.
Sebring's a very fun track to race at. It's got a lot of personality, obviously, being in a, I think it was an old Air Force base, or...
Yeah, it's an old airfield, isn't it? Yep.
Yeah, so definitely has personality, and it's one that'll bite you if you get it wrong, that's for sure. The curbs, the track bumpiness, and it's quite a narrow track, so I do wonder how the hypercars will get on later on in the race this evening.
Absolutely. Marty going to the top of the list. Is that right? Hang on. What have we got here?
Yeah, he did, and he generated. So for whatever reason, if we look at the other boys, they're cycling up tyre temps. So did Marty get out first? Did I not see him and he actually got out before these boys? Because I tell you what, he's lit it up pretty quick. And the other boys around the 8s, 9s and 10-second brackets, and he's gone straight in there on an 04.
Well, we saw Clark was on first car out of the pits. He may not have been. He's actually just up around the final corner there. No, so bam. There's Clark's time. Reed will be next.
And he gets in by 4/10.
Macalos very close behind. Carso with a tidy lap as well. Steve Crossan sneaking in there, boys.
Yeah, good lap from Crossy.
Top effort from Crossy last week in the official SIMRACING number 43 Aston Martin there. Had him in the comms box, J-Man, with a podium in the GT3 class, so nice work from Crossy.
Gunther's first real flying lap didn't kind of go to plan. Yeah, expected to see him a little bit further up. He's been a nice patch of form pace-wise at the moment, Gunther, so looking for a big improvement this lap from him.
Yeah, never count out Gunther Rowe. He's on the...
Well, Magenta Sector 1.
Just see that pop up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's got the dial turned up on that one. But as it stands, Reed over Clark, over Crossland, Macalos, Carson and Dugdale respectively, down to 12th there, which is 5th, I think, or 6th, should I say, in the GTs. There.
I wonder whether Gunther had a moment in Sector 3 on his first flying one, because I tell you what, he's around about 5 seconds up on his best effort. Probably needs to be the better part of 7.5 to make those front boys, the likes of Noah Reid and Matty Clark. So it'll be interesting to see what he delivers in the final sector. So I wonder whether there's a little mistake on maybe one of the bumps around there, and just watching the attitude of his car coming through there now. It's nice and tidy.
It is probably the first and last corner here at Sebring, both tricky little sucker.
There you go, P4.
So, yeah, that's more like it. Crossing in a second there in the GT class. Good boys. So, backing up from last week.
Yeah, very well done to Crossland, and then one other person who we haven't seen yet would be Harry Lawrence, sitting down there in 12th at the moment. So wonder if he'll get
Here
up
he
into the
comes.
pecking order.
Yeah, magenta middle sector, personal best first sector, and backs it up to go a lot further up the field. Tucks in behind Gunther Rowe, 5th provisionally. Good call too, Isaac, on spotting there that he was just maybe a little bit slower to get those fast times down.
Yeah, for sure. He really put on a spectacle last weekend, that's for sure, with his fuel saving and then alternate tyre strat that seemed like nobody else did. So he's definitely a bit of a mastermind when it comes to the pit stops and strategies, is Harry Lawrence.
Noah Reid with a personal best and a magenta in Sector 2. Looks like he's going to just extend that mark if he can finish off this final 2 corners, or 1 corner, sorry. Always looks like 2 to me, but it is actually only 1. Down here into Sunset. But he gets on the right pedal very, very early. Goes right to the wall. And he does improve and goes into that, what you mentioned, Isaac, into the 2-minute flat bracket with a 9:55, 2 minutes .955. It's an impressive run.
Didn't see Macabos coming though, did we, boys? Yeah. Then
wow,
and then
or Crossland
betters as well.
Crossland goes 2:01.0. Look out! This class is going to be an absolute battle tonight. Boys, have got the memo that it's the business end of the season. It's time to step up. And Matty Clark finds himself 4th provisionally at the moment.
Yeah, with Gunther on the chase as well. Only 30 seconds to go here though, boys. So time is well and truly running out rapidly.
Oh, Harry Lawrence super close to that left-hand wall. And Harry Lawrence, does he improve? Yes, he does. He goes P3, and that knocks Matty Clark and Costas Makrolos down a spot. So there you go. Top 3 super tight. 2 minutes .9, 2:01.0, 2:01.3. It'll be a good one here. Sebring looks to deliver, as you mentioned earlier, Isaac. The previous one was an absolute banger. This one's going to go down a treat.
For sure, field's looking very, very tight and competitive, as always. You know, it's always good fun racing with these boys, and always look forward to getting on track with them. And you know, I guess watching them on the broadcast is as good as it gets right now. But see if I can mix it up with them next in the next 2 weeks at the finale at Silverstone.
Yeah, well, look, one thing's for sure, Isaac. If you're in here, you make a podium every single time you turn up, mate. That's
true. That's true.
Here.
Yes, that's right.
Slight improvement, that one there for Matty Clark, 2:01.531. So didn't give him any positional gains out there at the moment, but I tell you what, showed that he had a little bit more in it. Martin Richards back to the lane. I think everybody pretty much done. What can you see out there, Davo? We got anybody out there on a heater?
Lawrence on track still.
Yep, and good in Sector 2. Not quite his level best in Sector 1, but his personal best Sector 2. Doesn't need much margin. Well, he needs a little over 3.
He needs
3 and a bit tenths. Yep.
To snip Crossland there. Has he got it? I don't know. But look, we did talk about this. I think I might have been off air before the broadcast about Lawrence's. It can look not so
he does! 2-0!
There you go. There you go.
Wow. That is impressive. But I tell you what, Noah Reid's time, he bettered his. I didn't pick up on that until right at the end. 2-minute .6. Plays a 2-minute .997. Sorry, Davo.
No, that's okay. That's like literally 200ths of a second there. He pips Crossland by. And it just didn't look like he was going to get it. And we did talk about lackluster qualifying sessions, but then just delivering in race from Lawrence. But look, he's just snuck up another position there. So nice work, Harry. Once again, boys. So very, very nice. Session over. See if we can get a result sheet up. Yes, we can. That. So you can see there, I think we've got top 10. Let me make sure we've got all classes as well. But yeah, obviously, nice work from the boys there across the board with Daniel Betterfield leading the way with the Hypers, George Goddard joining him on the front row, Will Dixon, Hayden Tegg, Robbie Mitchell, Chris Fraser rounding out the 6 hypercars there. And then we got Noah Reid dominating, pretty much dominating until Harry Lawrence stuck in there right at the last minute in qualifying there to join him on the front row, pushing Crossland back onto the second row. With Costas Makalos, Matty Clark, Gunther Rowe, Martin Richards, Joseph Marnie, Sam Carson, Ken Dugdale, Morgan Gibbs. There's a couple more there, I think, as well. But we are about to kick things off, ladies and gentlemen. So stand by as the boys populate the grid, and we will look at some points.
In the dark too.
Early morning, I think it is, J-Man.
Mm.
Yeah, so interesting stuff. We love it when they throw a little bit of a curveball at the boys there. So yeah, quickly, the boys did touch on the points here earlier in the broadcast there. Bewley with a clear, like Isaac said, he could probably just sit back and spectate for the next couple of rounds, but and still win this. So a little bit of competition sneaking in at the end of the season just to keep him on his toes. But Chris Fraser in second, Will Dixon there, Georgie Goddard, Robbie Mitchell, Hayden Teggs, just all the usual suspects there, and a few boys that have not been on track recently. Noah Reid, obviously, there you can see leading the GT Championship at the moment. So nice work from him. Clark, oh, it's pretty close, guys. 2 points. So Gunther Rowe rounding out the third position there. But as you can see, Lawrence on a charge in the last couple of rounds. So be interesting to see how that little battle goes. He's currently in fourth. Pete Dawson not around again this week. Costas Makalos, Marty Richards, Steve Crossland with a couple again last week, and possibly another one this week. Just looking pretty good form and very speedy. Sam Carson, Shane Frodo not here tonight either in 10th. But wait, there's more, ladies and gentlemen. There's heaps more, as you can see, flicking down through that list, down to 20, and then down to 25, ladies and gentlemen. Have we got cars on track yet, boys?
Yeah, we do. Yep, absolutely. So we got, once again, a stacked GT3 field and a little bit larger than normal hyper field, which is going to be entertaining. And I tell you what, be quite a spectacle watching just to see what Nathan Bewley does, but he's still in pit lane with 34 seconds to go. He's still got the wet tyres on, so we hope everything's all good in Nathan Bewley world. And we do hope we do see him out there. Not on a wet tyre.
No, no, certainly not.
Okay, so just looking through, boys are waiting race control to start this one. Got around 5 seconds to go. And
Looks like Nathan Bewley's on the track. Sorry, there.
Right,
Looks like Bewley's on the track.
Gone for that favoured hard-medium combination he has become synonymous for. Now, the one guy, and he was quite surprised last week, Isaac, that other guys didn't go for that balance option with that front left tyre, or the fronts, for that matter, being in the hard compound.
Yeah, that's right. I do wonder how it's going to perform early on with the track temperature going to be quite cold. Might struggle to get a bit of temperature up into those tyres, but I'm sure he'll make it work.
Yeah, look, and he's effectively starting off the back of this hyperfield. So he's not going to have to cover off anybody in these opening laps. He probably have a little bit of time to work into it, and we know how good he is at working into it. So give this race start back to Dave-O.
And this is going to get exciting very quick, ladies and gentlemen. Round 8 at Sebring, green light here. And it is on. Mustang through 1. Daniel away. Goddard chasing, but Dixon, Teague, and Fraser. Who's that around? That's Fraser.
Chris Fraser. Yep.
So apart from Daniel and George Goddard there, the rest of the boys pretty much muscle their way round 1 there. Very close, but tidy stuff. You can see in the GT class here, the boys weaving to try and get a bit of a temper in the tyres. Very orderly from the GT boys, actually. Reed, Lawrence, Crossland, Makalos. The guys really not contesting their positions, just getting some temper into those tyres there, straight up. And yeah, just happy to run nose to tail here. I mean, these races are long enough to like we were talking about before, Lawrence, with the strategies, they're just long enough to bring these strategies into play. So at the moment, these guys just chilling. Carson on Richards. We'll get back to the top. Benefield away. Goddard chasing. Has he got his pace? Look at Dixon. He's coming with. Eggles, Mitchell, Bewley. Who, remembering, started. Back.
Yeah, well, like we said, running that hard medium combination there, so it might take a little bit of time just for him to get into his work. But one thing we know, based on history, is Nathan Bewley, you just cannot ever count him out. He'll get down into his work shortly. He'll be calculated in his passes. He'll work over Robbie Mitchell first, and I'm sure we are going to see that 17 car go forward for sure. But Benefield, I'll tell you what have they boys got for him? There's about a 1.3, 1.4 second margin already for them. And I'll tell you, looking back a little further, Noah Reid has got the start that he wanted. And Matty Clark, though, in the recent past, got through on Steve Cross. I'm not sure whether Crossy might have just made a little mistake there because he looked quite comfortable.
I do wonder if Crossy is possibly fuel saving. I see that he's got a little bit more VE
already
than the top 4.
He's definitely got out of it. Let the boys go there. So I think he was in. I'm sure he was in front of Makalos there, wasn't he? Yes. So he's in front of Makalos and Clark. So he's let both the boys roll. Was there a incident? I get nothing on my radar to say that there was. It's just looks like clean overtakes across them. So and look at him, he's dropping back further. So I think, like you boys are saying, is he conserving already?
Definitely looks like he might be conserving there, Dave. Maybe he's thought, the fight at the front's not for him, so he'll just fuel save and see where he ends up after the pit stops later on in the race.
It's put him in a real sweet spot though, hasn't it? He's just in front of, I think it's Martin Richards there. So a gap back to Richards and a gap up to Clark. He's sort of got clean air there. He can just sort of run his own race from there. Goddard. Probably similar for Goddard. He would be very much conscious of Will though behind him.
And Nathan Bewley, albeit sitting there in 6th, he still hasn't made any inroads to Robbie Mitchell. Already I can see a percent difference, or around about a percent, getting close to it, difference between Bewley and the rest of the hypers. So it's about 0.8 of a percent at the moment that he's better off. And well, guys, we've literally just started. So lap 3 of a predicted 40 for the hypers at this point. And we're going to watch this. I mean, we talked about this. Normally it's Nathan Bewley pressing the pace and increasing those laps, predictive laps to complete. But at the moment it's Daniel Benefield. And as we see him come across the line again, oh, hang on, no, he's not quite there yet. He's coming down into Sunset now. Yeah. Personal best and session best of a 49.7. I'll be interested to see what this is. He was magenta sector 1, personal best sector 2, so he's going to go better. As the tyres come up, 49 with the 0. But Noah Reid.
Yeah,
Noah Reid he's got the start he needed. And we talk about this battle there with Matty Clark. Matty Clark has moved forward, but what are you seeing?
We were just live. Sorry for my reaction. Actually, we're just live with Bewley chasing down Robbie there, and I think Robbie's early braking might have caught Bewley off there a little bit into one there, having to take evasive action. No contact and no off-track excursion for either of those drivers, though. But yeah, Bewley struggling to get it done. Could be a tricky place to pass here. Sebring, there's only a couple of spots. We've got a good red hot shot at it. Around this back session's not one of them. So Reid, 2:01.5, best lap for the GT class cars. No surprise, boys.
No, Noah's definitely got the start he's been wanting, and it looks like he's just pushing forward. And wonder if Harry Lawrence has just decided, you know, I'm not going to try and catch that, and maybe he'll instead try and do it in the pit stop.
Yeah, so what does that look like? Noah Reid 84.7, 85.5 for Harry Lawrence. So that was live call. Obviously, the second I mentioned that, those numbers are dropping because I'm getting a live read on the accurate energy for those cars. But in live terms, it does show you that already Harry Lawrence maybe not prepared to go for that outright paces. Who was that Harry Lawrence just went past? Was that Chris Fraser again? Maybe
Yeah,
Fraser
it did
had
look
another
like Chris
moment.
Fraser there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or Kramer. If we could pick up on a replay of that. So this is the Fraser incident. Oh, it's just this bumpy little place. This Sebring just trying to get the power down there. Just a little jig from the back suspension there. Quickly turns that car into the fence, and you can just see the boys filing through. There goes Reid, here's Lawrence.
Nathan Bewley lights up sector 1 out of 6th position. Catches up to the back of Robbie Mitchell, which might negate the magenta going into sector 2. Now he's caught him, but I tell you what, that car has got pace and it's got energy savings at the same time.
Oh, he just hasn't been able to get past him. We saw him before down into one there. Nearly made contact with the back of with Mitchell's car.
Oh,
there
Mitchell
goes Mitchell off. The mistake, unforced error there. Pressure got to him. Really just follows on through there. Nice work. See a little bit more light coming through now as dawn breaks here over Sebring. Daniel Benefield controlling the race across the start-finish line again.
There you go. Sorry, Isaac. There you go. A little bit more data for you.
Yeah, thank you, J-Man. Definitely looking like Well, actually, Bewley's got the same amount of EE as Benefield, but at a different part of the track. So very, very similar though.
So live, I could tell you Benefield 81.2, 81.6. Yeah, so he's probably come back a bit. To be fair, given the distance, Nathan
Yep.
Bewley around about plus 8 seconds. So that would probably factor into being pretty close. You're correct there, Isaac. So it's probably quite relative at the moment. For me, I'm still watching intently at the moment to Steve Crossland's numbers, and he's definitely looking like he's going for a different approach here tonight, looking to save some energy, and he just needs to be conscious already that he is around about. We'll get a read on that. He's around about 9.3 seconds away from the likes of Noah Reid. However, just got to remember that in the grand scheme of things, with what we've got left to go, and I did see a car off in front of him.
Harry Lawrence in the wall
Lawrence.
there, J-Man.
Yeah, lost the. I know he's got the front clip on that. Yeah. And more importantly, too, Matty Clark now all over the back of Costas Makrolos. So, talked about a 2-point swing in the championship here for these boys in the GT3 cars. That class, that is Matty Clark and Noah Reid. He'll be looking to dispatch Costas here and try and negate the amount of damage that Noah Reid's doing here by being out front. And Reid has got a good 5.9, nearly 6 seconds over these boys too. So he's really checked out early.
Yeah, so just picking up on that replay for Lawrence, if that car's not damaged, surely he will be struggling with that thing. He hit the wall hard, and then got a little bit of wheel spin trying to navigate his way back to the tarmac and probably tag the wall again. So I'd say that car's well damaged. What's the times drop on that one?
Yeah, Nathan Bewley, speaking of times, getting down to business, boys. He is out there on a 48.39 to be the fastest hypercar out there at the moment. As I say that, I just see the magenta light up sector 1 for Dan Benefield. So maybe he's seen that. And he goes magenta sector 2 as well. So it's maybe go time for your leader, who does have a nice 3.2 second margin as he rounds up a bit of traffic coming through on Davies as we speak. So welcome to Rainlight Racing Monday night, where you got to deal with GT3s and the hyper competition.
Yeah, for sure, and I really do hope Benefield sticks around. You know, competition's always good for everyone, boys, as we all know.
Yeah, elevates the game for sure.
George Goddard's still not. He's still hanging on. He's trying to hang on to Benefield, as you see in the background there.
Yep, that was a 48.9, plays a 49.2 for Benefield over Goddard. And I think Bewley, once he come through, he came through with 48.261. So lights up the tower in magenta again, as we just see those boys navigate around Morgan Gibbs there. And man, Bewley is all over the back of Hayden Tegg now.
He is on a charge, and in traffic there, just navigated, even in the most awkward situations there, just navigated it so well. Wraps up a couple of back markers and a Hayden Tegg in the process, J-Man, and look at the gains already.
So he's got the pace. There's Benefield driving to a number 2 though, because once again he's lit up sector 1. He lit up sector 2 last time, caught traffic, and then the third sector fell away. As I mentioned, a 48.9. Once again, I'll give you a comparison. Bewley's 41.9 plays a 40.7 this lap, sector 1. 28.7 for Benefield versus Bewley's 28.8. So not much in the middle sector between those two cars. Just see how Dan Benefield finishes off this lap. Noah Reid on the gas. Okay, so that third and final six just falls away a little bit once again. Oh, no, it doesn't. He gets it, 48.201. Bewley claims the magenta in Sector 3. I tell you what, these boys are trading. There might be a few positions between them. But this is going to be a factor later on. Post-pit stops, I'm sure, between Benefield and Bewley as he looks to try and track down Will Dixon and George Goddard. Noah Reid, what has he got? He has got 6.6 seconds over Matty Clark, so we'll monitor that. Doing a great job. 201.61 last lap versus Matty Clark's 202.2. Still with pressure from Macrolos, boys.
Yeah, I just quickly, sorry, Isaac, picked up on
Sorry,
Lawrence back past Carson and, back past Richards. So,
Yep.
Car possibly not as damaged as what I thought it might have been, but the hit looked big. But look, he's carrying on and doing a stellar job.
Definitely got a bruise on the front right of that splitter there, Davo, but doesn't look to be holding him up too much. A 202.8 last lap through. Personal best of a 201.6, so one could argue maybe that last bit's been taken out of it.
So Bewley.
Yeah, that just played into his hands there.
It did. Bit of slip from Lawrence and on the charge. These guys are doing a stellar job. Actually, all the boys that we say this week in, week out, boys, the GT, obviously the slower class cars, amazing job to take note and be aware of what's going on around them. With the hypers coming on through, we rarely see incidents here at Greylight Racing in this multi-class. So very, very nice stuff.
Yeah, masses of respect these guys have for each other right throughout the field, both classes. They're all really, really good racers around each other and really good mates too. For that fact as well, there's some good friendships out there, and oh man, I'm just watching Dixie Bewley just rounding up. They're all the way through to Macrolos now.
That's right. So Clark's next. Clark gets away. You can see him coming. Again, gets into this little back to and fro section of the track here. Very awkward. Clark still trying to stay out of the way. Oh, Bewley wide out on the grass. Gets it done. Dixie with a slight gain out of that. So who will be next on that list? Oh, it'll be Reid, of course. The leader in the GT class. We've just got him on camera there now. That is Goddard. Just tucked in behind. He's on his way. Dixon and Bewley. That's the portion, I think, of Dugdale. They're just sneaking past there now, boys. Watch Daniel across the start-finish line again, tips it into one, sparks are flying off the front of the BMW. Goddard just tipping into one now. And then here they come, these two. Oh, right, again, we saw this last lap where one of the Sorry, go.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say the presence of mind of Nathan Bewley into it. He just got out of it. He just knew he wasn't going to get there. He acknowledged how strong the GT3s are under brakes. A little bit of a touch on the back, though, of Noah Reid there. Just nothing in it. Just a little bit of speed and difference there. But really smart play there. I mean, heat of the battle, you could have easily forgiven Nathan Bewley to chase Will Dixon down there, but just looked at the closing gap for that GT3 car and just rolled out of it. It was well played.
And look how close they are to Goddard now.
Yep. Goddard
They're definitely
really
closing in on Goddard there.
just popping up there, but we will pick up on this quick replay. Marnie on Gibbs, I think it is. Gibbs with a slight off-track excursion to allow Marnie pass there, so nice work from Joseph. Back to the action, the hypercar action. There they are. 1, 2, 3. Well, Daniel's won, but 2, 3, 4. George Goddard, Bill Dixon, and Nathan Bewley chasing.
Yeah.
This is the field we would normally see. However, tonight we have Daniel Betterfield running away in the lead. He just sort of got out of that little muscle fest into one on lap 1 there when all the boys had the elbows out, and he's run away with this, very much driving his own race here, whilst the rest of the hypers fight it out amongst themselves, and that's where the battle is at the moment. Goddard, Dixon, back to Uli. There's Dixon very deep into that bracket area. Not ideal, boys.
No. I just had a check-in as well, just there, just took Isaac for a little tour just down to Steve Crossing, just to have a look at those numbers. We mentioned that he was out there, I think, energy saving really early in the piece. He's around about 13.8 seconds off the lead of this race. However, has got a good margin on energy over these boys. He's got 4 or 5% on some of them. So that'll be a big net gain later on, Isaac, in the pit stops.
Yeah, definitely. I was just looking at those numbers as you flicked it on the screen there, J-Man, and that's exactly what I was thinking. Hopefully Crossy doesn't fall too far behind the likes of Noah Reid and Matthew Clark, Costas Macrolos. So then it kind of becomes not a net gain as such, you know,
Yep.
when you fall back too far because you've been fuel saving too much and you actually lose time from the guys in front. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen to Crossland there, but doing a great job nonetheless.
Yeah, I think we could argue based on the number, if they keep trending that way, he's liable to make up around between 5 and 7 seconds on some of them, isn't he? But obviously with a 14-second negative. Who is that? That is Matty Clark.
Matt Clark, we just picked him up on camera there, having a really big wriggle. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at the body language of the car here.
And he's back in position. He's back to third.
Yeah, he's gone back behind Macrolos.
Quite a fair bit back as well, 3.5 seconds by the look of it.
Yep.
So we've got nothing to say that he's been off track there at all. No. Here we go. Here we go. Macrolos on Clark here. Let's just have a look what's going on here.
See, he's definitely vulnerable at the pit stops now to Steve Crossan. And this is what I'm saying.
So we're just picking up the replay here. Look, he just pulled over there on the pit straight. Pulled over to the pit wall, slowed the car up.
Couldn't shift. He had a shifter issue. Sue's just given us the data. Thank you, Sue.
Yes, thank you, Sue. Okay.
I was wondering where Sue was, to be honest. Glad to see you watching.
So what is Harry Lawrence's VE? Harry Lawrence, 51%. 51%. Matty Clark. Oh no, so he's on par with Matty Clark. It's Croston that's the odd one out. Croston's got enough, given the proximity, to clearly undercut or overcut whatever it might be over Matty Clark, and I think potentially Costas Macrolos at this point. Noah Reid's just a step too far.
Yep, Noah Reid definitely looks like he's got the ball in his hand in terms of you know, when to pit, pace-wise. I mean, even if he wanted to start fuel saving, he could as well, and he'd still be well safe, I would say.
Nathan Bewley, Will Dixon.
Okay, and so, sorry, J-Man there, but talking about fuel saving, and we've been watching Nathan circulate behind Dixon without a hell of a lot of pressure for the past few laps. I mean, what's his PE looking like? Is he conservative? Is he just rolling out of it just that smidge to make that
I
gain
think a
in the
little
pit?
bit. He's on very much the same numbers now as Dan Benefield. Like very much those
Yeah.
two are the leading cars in hypers, at the exception of Chris Fraser, who's had a couple of moments in this one and finds himself a little way back. However, he's got particularly good numbers as well, probably the best of the lot as far as the hypers are concerned. So, but once again, like Isaac said, just it cancels out when you're too far back the benefits you're going to get, with the shorter stop time. So he'll keep working away. Chris Fraser's got a hell of a lot of pace in the car. He just needs to look for a little bit of lap consistency, and he'll be back into it as he has got his sights set right at the moment on Harry Lawrence, who's got a windscreen full of Steve Crossler.
I don't know whether it's just on my data, but I have literally got Matthew Clark and Costas Makalos both in 10th position. I don't know whether it shows up on the tower there.
10th outright and 9th and 10th in class. Costa still got it for me. Sorry, 2nd and 3rd in class. 9th and 10th outright.
That is weird. Okay, it's something buggy going on. Interesting stuff, ladies and gentlemen. But what I was talking about is not interesting at all. What is interesting is what's going on out on the track. The boys have been just trying to analyse, the body language and the times of what the boys are doing out on track, and talking about is Crossland fuel saving. And while we pick him up on camera here, look at Harry Lawrence all over the back of the Steve Crossland car now.
Yeah, so what are those numbers? Steve Crossland versus Harry Lawrence. So 47% remaining for Crossland and 44% for Harry Lawrence. So could afford to even sidestep here. Don't even get engaged in the fight. You're probably going to get him at pit stops. Still got 47.5 minutes remaining, but at this point in time, if he let him go and tucked in his draft and then used him to his advantage as a brake marker, rolling it on in there, we heard Nathan talking about the way he might go about it. Roll off X amount of meters before the corner and then brake 10 meters later, because he effectively isn't turning up there with the same amount of speed. So interesting strategy, the way that some of these boys make the energy, and it was really interesting to hear that from Nathan last week about how they go about it. Some of these guys, it's natural for them to drive like that. We see Harry Lawrence looking like he's coming into pits.
He is. He definitely is.
Big undercut. We saw this last week, boys.
And it looked like, and so he's been chasing the back of the number 43 car there, the Simblacks. Aston Martin, steered by Crossland. As soon as he got close to where he needed to make a move on Crossland, straight in the pits there, boys.
And very, very close to actually hitting that pit entry wall.
Was he?
I was quite nervous for him myself.
We'll get a read on that pit time in a second too, lads. Okay, so it was 24.2 on the jacks, and that will give him a total time. Quite the long pit lane, given where they come in to where they exit, boys, because they actually come in before the final turn. So actually come in a couple of turns before the final turn. So gives them, like I said, 59.2 outright. Pit stop done, back to 100% on the VE is Harry Lawrence, and he'll press on and construct a race for the final 45 minutes of this one, and never count Harry out. He'll have a plan here.
Yeah, that's for sure. Harry always seems to have a plan, and it looks like Benefield's done the quickest lap of the race of 1:47.6.
Yeah, impressive stuff. Only man in that time slot out there at the moment. Well, Robbie Mitchell, Hayden Tegg, if they come up against a bit of mischief, because I just picked up on Robbie Mitchell re-entering, and Hayden Tegg was really, really close and shot. Oh, and the Hypers are amongst the thick of it at the moment too, as they lap Sam Carson.
Yes, so the boys together there, J-Man, you are absolutely correct.
Okay.
Not ideal, look like...
Synchronised reversing into the tyre barrier.
Well, you know, Mitchell might have, you know, just, I don't know, might have missed his mark there. It looked like he'd sort of running a little bit deep. And both the boys suffering there, so unfortunate little exchange.
They got Dixon,
can't keep
Julie.
those boys apart, can
No,
you?
you can't.
I know, true
You're
that.
right.
Every race, there seems to be something going on with Robbie Mitchell and Teggles, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like a bad relationship, isn't it? You just keep coming back.
It's one of those love to hate things going on.
Yes.
That just sliding off in...
Who was that sliding off?
That might have been Teggles, actually. What's it? Oh, let's just pick up on this. We got the replay on. So after that little altercation, yeah, Teggles took off. Maybe with a bit of red mist. Gets down the road a little further.
Isaac will tell you what we're watching right now is Dixie Goddard side by side. Bewley nowhere to go. Too wide. They've blocked it. They've boxed him in. Can't do anything with it.
Yeah, great racing from these three. So Nathan might have the inside line.
Really looking. They've got Bro.
Oh,
Oh, no!
Dixie locked the rear straight into Gunther Rowe. He'd be like, I didn't agree to this.
I don't want to be in that meeting.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall, though. That's for sure.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna show this. Here's the lead up to it.
It had all the signs.
It did. It did. No.
It looks worse in replay.
Oh, it always does. I'm sure the boys will agree when they watch the strip back. It's just like, oh
Oh, dear.
ouch! And then even more. What's in it again?
Did you see that, Isaac? Nathan Bewley
yeah.
coming up behind Steve Cross, and Steve Cross then braked into Sunset the final turn, hit the bump, the car stepped into oversteer on entry, caught it. Nathan Bewley slipped down the inside, closed the margin back up to George Goddard, scoops up Matty Clark in the process, gets back to work on Goddard. Second and third, Dan Betterfield is gone. He is the better part of, well, just have a look at the numbers. What is he? He's around 15 and a half seconds down the road now. Just absolutely smashing it out.
And just passing Noah Reid there as well, so just showing how much of a gap that Noah Reid has as well.
Yep.
It's almost very similar gap times, isn't it, between first and second in both GT3 and hypercar class?
Yes. Oh, they come up on traffic, does Goddard and Bewley. And who does this favour? Neither, I don't think, at this point. They're both stuck in a GT3 sandwich here.
Yeah, that's Dugdale. They're sneaking past, and they got Makalos. Oh, awkward spot to catch Makalos there for Bewley.
Yeah, used all the aero and some to do that.
Yeah,
Stayed committed.
Yeah, even Dixon probably suffered a little bit from that, just on the tail end of that corner there. Makalos had all the right in the world to be where he was. Did an excellent job, actually, to just keep the car tight and online.
Sorry, hang on. It was Matty Clark to the pit lane, so that's a little bit of a shades of Harry Lawrence styles going a bit earlier than the pack. He's gone. He went in with plenty in the tank. This will be favourable once again for Bewley as Goddard's the first on the scene to catch up to Ian Henderson here, and clearly Bewley got the better run out of that exchange, lads.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely wrong time for Goddard there, as we see Bewley closing in fast.
How did Dixie go on that one? Yeah, he did okay as well.
Still hanging on, so he's still in it. Dixie's not too far behind, as you can see in the timings.
Yes, and all the while, boys, ranging up on the back of No Read again to lap the leader of the GT class cars here. We got Reed on camera now. Actually, I don't even think we get a rear shot out of the back. Maybe, no we don't. I don't think we get a rear shot out of the Porsche. It's a bit buggy. So we'll get back on the cameras here. And look, you can see all three of them back a shot. Probably perfect part of the track to catch this Porsche here. They're all going to sneak on past. Untroubled. Or maybe a little trouble. But
Maybe Dixie might just be... Oh, no, he's going to get there.
Only just though, J-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure Noah, after the first two sail pass, was very conscious of what was in his mirror, and probably just gave just that little extra space there for Will. And the chase is on.
So, be interested to just hear from Sue again. I just see Matty Clark coming out of pit stop phase there. Whether that shifter issue's still prevalent or whether he sorted it out, be interesting to know. He's got quite some distance now between himself and Harry Lawrence. Obviously, Harry Lawrence going for the big undercut there.
Will not be what Matty Clark wants for contention in the terms of points for the championship, that's for sure, especially if they finish where they currently are. That'll be a big point swing to Noah Reid.
Okay, so shifter's all good. Just wanted a new set of shoes, new set of boots, and get out there and get into it. So look for some pace from the Matty Clark car. Oh, this is still a fantastic battle. The hypers have really turned up and delivered tonight, boys. I think this Bewley option.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's got the slip on Georgie Goddard. Thinks better of it. Pulls back in.
Yeah, one of the back markers there too. That is the BMW of
Morris.
Yes, I
Jason
think you're
Morris,
right. It
yeah.
is too. So again, just a nice, comfortable bit of track to execute that pass on Morris. Didn't stress anyone, Morris or the boys at the Hypers. But Bewley looking very comfortable. He's looked comfortable in that car all night, as has Daniel Benefield, who has not got, to be honest, a lot of airtime, ladies and gentlemen. And you get that when you're just sort of in another postcode leading a race. And well done, Daniel. Amazing pace. Really did get a chance, I suppose, with like we mentioned before, a little bit of muscling going on the early stages of the race allowed him to just sort of stretch that gap, and that muscling has continued on as he just wraps up Lawrence there. Now Lawrence already been into the pits there, and back in, I think, this is about 6th position there, boys.
Yeah, Robbie Mitchell around. I'll tell you what's going to be a thorn in the side of Harry Lawrence and Matty Clark based on, I'm going to look at the crystal ball here, Isaac, and it's going to be around Steve Crossland and the numbers he's just running, 2035, okay, and so where this becomes important, 2023 and a 2038 for Matty Clark, but where it comes significant is the fact that Steve Crossland, with his fuel savings already, he's still got 23 odd % remaining of energy versus the likes of his competition in Noah Reid, who's just a step too far as times ahead, is on 14%. So, you know, we're getting close to, what are we? What did I say? We were getting close to 10%. That's got to be worth a lot of time in the pits. So, like I said, it won't maybe factor into Noah Reid territory, or maybe even not Macrolos. I think Macrolos is still, there's still potential there. He's around about 17, 28. Okay, so he's the better, yeah, so potential for him to pressure Costas, but for me it's more importantly about Harry Lawrence and Matty Clark, who have made their pit stops. But yeah, Crossland looking at a strategy I think that could surprise a few at the back end.
Oh, here we go,
definitely
Bewley
looks
pass.
that way.
Bewley pass, Goddard. Goddard looked like he might have moved over for him.
Yep.
So, strategic. A little move there, potentially from Goddard.
I'm not sure if this battle's still done though yet.
I don't think it is.
Dave-O, yeah, I don't think it's done.
Clark just in a little awkward spot of the track. Actually, lucky for the off-field, or the outfield, should I say here, on the old airfield here at Sebring. Oh, little mistake from Bewley. It's a drag race. Goddard back behind Bewley. As you can see, the Crossland just coming out of the pits there. In backup shot. Jason Morris.
Not over yet.
Oh, Bewley's gone wide again. Bewley, no. Now Dixon.
So Crossy, let's get a read on that pit stop time, because okay, so Crossy was a 24.4.
Now, this
And I'll
is
tell you what, he's significantly lighter on fuel, on energy than Matty Clark.
The boys are just coming across Lawrence here. Very awkward part of the track.
Yeah, well, Bewley got boxed in there.
So tricky stuff. We just did have Daniel sneaking past. Daniel Benefield in the lead hypercar sneaking past there on Lawrence. Only moments before. But here's the... We thought the move from Bewley on Goddard was a game changer, but here, look, Goddard back out in front now. Dixon in front of Bewley.
Yeah, great racing from these three boys, that's for sure, and just showing that, you know, it doesn't matter if it's GT3 or Hyperclass, that you can have great battles in either one.
Yeah, we've pretty much got to stay on this at the moment, boys, because there's a lot going on. And as I think that might be the Morris car actually just coming out of the pit lane again.
Yep.
Dixon, deep, Bewley even deeper into the final corner there. Holds it together. These guys are committed. And again, into one.
Yeah, Morgan Gibbs unfortunately doesn't make the apex to turn one. Might have made the fence in the background there, but the boys sail on through safely. And so she's play on for these three hypers. To mention Dan Benefield, fair way out in front now, 22 seconds, but the battle is here. Goddard, Dixon, Bewley.
It does look like Goddard will have to come in earlier than these other two boys, but whether or not Dixie and Bewley will follow Goddard will be a different story, that's for sure.
it's hard. They've all got the pace, clearly. Because just watching them over the last 5 or so or more laps, just crazy pace, all very close together. Very good racing. 3 different marks of car as well too, mind you, viewers.
Yeah, so Sue just letting us know Maddie Clark did do a stout time. It was a 2:01.4, so it's perilously close to the 2:01.337 that Noah Reid has run in this race. So Maddie Clark showing us really late in the piece. Well, not really late. It's still just under half an hour to go, but he has got car pace. He has definitely got car pace, and he's got some work to do. Harry Lawrence a little bit up the road, and he's just got caught up behind Jason Morris. I'll tell you what, this will be a big net gain for Matty Clark's deficit as he comes out. Now he'll be able to see up the road. He'll be able to see. Actually, there's going to be a bit of split there. Did Gunther Rowe? Okay, Gunther Rowe to the pit lane. Yeah, so looks to be Sam Carson in the pit lane as well. Matty Clark will have sights on Harry Lawrence. How are we going up the top there, boys, with Bewley, Dixie and Goddard?
I think Bewley's just having some fun.
Yeah.
I think he's playing Longo. He's got this thing wrapped up, and I think he is literally just playing.
Having some fun.
I think he is, and what a battle it is. Really put some pressure on Dixon. Nothing made. Had some overlap. Gets out of it. I think you're really enjoying this race here. Looks very comfortable in the car. Looks like he could be quicker, but happy to stay behind Dixon and have a good race. I think here tonight at Sebring, round 8 in the Rain Light Racing 2026 LMU season 13, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and only a couple of rounds to go as well, mind you. So get over to Rain Light Racing. That's Dixon in to the pit lane, boys.
Yeah, Noah Reid from the lead of the race too, boys.
Yeah. So yeah, get over to Rain Light Racing's Discord. Links are in the description. Yeah, sign up. Season 14. Look, a couple more rounds in at this, and then season 14 will be up quick smart, and you two could join the boys here.
And J-Man, do we know, did Crossland get any sort of gain from his shorter pit stop at all?
Proximity-wise, yeah, he certainly came out quite close to Matty Clark. Matty Clark and Harry Lawrence had it covered. I thought it may have been closer based on the numbers because, Crossy was easily probably 10 seconds quicker on the jacks. My concern for Steve Cross now, though, is even with that efficiency, Isaac, it has the look. I mean, he is... What is he? 60.4 versus his competition, and Matty Clark 65.5. However, 60.8 further up the road is Harry Lawrence, and Harry Lawrence not normally one to mess up those VE numbers as well. So maybe Crossy did get it right. Maybe Matty just a little bit heavy on the VE and wanted to go full rich and send this one home. Hence the fast lap times at the moment. So yeah, a little bit of a gain, but probably not as much as he would have liked.
Unfortunate for Crossy, but nonetheless, he's keeping it out of the wall and, you know, keeping it facing the right way. So it's always a good thing.
Goddard to the pits, boys. Oh, and he's caught up with a Ken Dugdale that might have been a little snaggy on each. He might have just cost him.
And Goddard's got a drive-through penalty by the looks of it. So it must have been
too.
Speeding or...
Yeah, it was awkward.
It's unfortunate.
Well, maybe it
Might have
been
been something to do
anyway. He's got a drive through. He's already come up on my list here, so let's just have a quick sticky bit of this, see what it
and
looks
Macrolos, Costas Macrolos in first position also has a drive-through as well, boys.
He does too. So speeding into the lane. Tricky entry here, boys, tonight. And that changes everything. I'll tell you what, it certainly helps. Matty Clark out one spot. Potential podium on offer there. Now, Oh, George Goddard. He'd done nothing wrong up to this
man.
point, boys.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, I don't think, it's just weird. I think Dugdale, coming up on Dugdale, he got right off it, obviously, because he was sort of compromised on his entry there. But I think when he went across the control line, it almost looked in the replay like he just tapped the throttle again, and it just might have pushed it over the speed limit there. Tricky stuff. That's Goddard actually just comes round to round up Dugdale as we speak. So hasn't that changed the dynamic of the race? As we see Daniel Petterfield rounding the final corner and across the start finish line for another lap here at Sebring. Nathan Bewley in the pit lane, boys.
Yeah, no such penalty for Bewley. He's well and truly safe at the lane there. Probably would have seen that come up on his data. There's been a couple dealt out. I'm going to read on these pit stops for these Hyper boys. So Dixie was a 22.8, 25.4 for Goddard, and a 20.2, so good couple of seconds, 2.5 odd seconds faster than Dixie's stop was Nathan Bewley. I mean, he already had track position. He's going to come out with around about 51% with 23 and a bit minutes remaining.
So Goddard, sorry J-Man, Goddard back in the pitch to serve that penalty, J-Man, and actually getting traffic again in the form of Gossis Macrolos. So fingers crossed.
So we see as on the entry for pit lane, Dan Benefield comes in, by my calculation, comes in with about 0.8% remaining energy. So well calculated, right down to the smallest of margins. So we get for the first time a read now that Nathan Bewley's made his way up legitimately to second position once Dan Benefield gets his stop made to see what this margin is. We'll be looking for something similar around that 20-second mark on the jacks to get himself home. So he does it in exactly the same time, 20.2. So identical to Nathan Bewley. So it'll give us a really, really good read on what the overall time is once it settles down between these two very, very fast drivers. Obviously, at the expense of George Goddard getting that drive-through, boys.
Yeah, that's for sure. It'll definitely give us a ballpark figure of, you know, roughly where the two drivers, Nathan Bewley and Daniel, are at this stage of the race. And in the GT3, it looks like Noah Reed's still out in first, Harry Lawrence, and third place, Matty Clark there as well, doing a great job.
It looks to be about just under 27 seconds, boys, between the front two, Benefield and Bewley. So, look, if anything, we'll just see what that looks like at the end of the race now that Bewley's basically free to go, apart from a bit of GT3 lap traffic, as well as Dan Benefield will have that to deal with as well. So we'll get to see what sort of distance it looks like at the back end, and that'll kind of give us an indication as to what it might have looked like if they were out there together. Obviously, Benefield does have the better time with the 47.4, plays Bewley's 48.2. However, I feel like, as you mentioned, Davo and Isaac, Bewley really out here for the fun of it tonight and probably hasn't really unleashed the car until now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, you know, I'm sure after last weekend's absolute domination by Bewley, he's just happy to be in the fight with Will Dixon and Goddard there for a moment, and then just, you know, sticking behind Robbie Mitchell, Chris Fraser, the likes of those boys as well.
Okay, so get a read on this gap here between Harry Lawrence and Matty Clark. It looks like it is around 5. I think it's about 5 seconds, boys. So we'll just keep our eye on that as well. Carson and Rowe are a little bit closer, so be something to play there for Gunther Rowe. He's having a tough night by his season standards. We're quite used to seeing him a little bit further up. However, Croston on his strategy is doing a nice job here, sitting 4th in class behind Matty Clark. Between him and Costas Makrolos by way of a drive-through in the recent past as well. So good job there for Steve Croston. Trying something a little different tonight.
Just a little bit more, I suppose, measured and conservative drives, I think, from the GT boys tonight than we've seen over the past few weeks. They've been extremely entertaining, particularly towards the end of the race. And equally, the Hypers have as well, but where the GT cars may have backed it off a little bit here tonight and seem a little conservative. I think the Hypers have probably ramped it up a bit to compensate. So, as we just watched Crossland round 1 and into this very tricky complex of corners here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think it is there. High curbs, tight corners, not the easiest to navigate. Get back up the pointy end here. Now we've got Benefield actually lapping Hypers here, boys.
Yeah, coming up on Chris Fraser.
So through on Fraser, heading for Tegs now. I think, yes, here he comes. You can just see him poking the nose of that BMW around on the Gorilla Racing vet there. And here he comes. Still trying to put some distance between himself with now Sam Carson tucked in there. So Daniel past Carson, looking for Tegs. So he's got Fraser, he's got Tegs. Mitchell will be next in the crosshairs. It's pretty impressive, boys. Just
definitely is. Yes, it definitely is. I'm
It's
just
all
in awe.
quiet in here.
Just in awe, Davo.
It's all a bit like, really? So,
Yep.
nice work.
Yeah, definitely well done.
So amazing. Solid drive from Daniel there.
Matty Clark with a big run off out of turn 1 that time, boys. So he is pushing incredibly hard.
Okay, what have we got on track? This is the last replay.
I think, boys, this championship for the GT3 class is definitely going to come down to the wire at Silverstone if it continues to play out how it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sue just saying in the chat, is Harry underfueled? Might have to get our man J-Man to
Okay.
crunch the numbers on that one there for you, Sue.
We'll have a look at that. Okay, we will have a look at that. Harry Lawrence is currently, he's on a 4.25 lap average. He's on a 4.3 last lap. So let's do the maths. What's he got? He's got around 37% remaining. So let's just get the abacus out, boys.
Going off that percentage, I do think he should be okay, but yeah, you never know.
So there goes Daniel Benefield, takes Crossland and Tegel down the pit lane straight away there. And through that final corner, across the start finish line for another lap.
He can get us there. Yeah.
Tex didn't even contest it, he literally just got over and let him sail on past. Would clearly be getting a blue flag anyway. The next hyper is Robbie Mitchell. I think I'm on data there. Is Robbie Mitchell there? Okay, Robbie Mitchell. That's not right. It's Will Dixon. It should be. Will Dixon. No, Robbie Mitchell. George Garden. I think my data's having a meltdown.
Yeah, Harry's good. Harry is definitely good. He's actually good to the tune. I'm not going to say he's got enough for one more. He'd probably be hoping he doesn't, but at a 4.2 average, he's safe. He's just pulled that back a little bit, so I don't know if that's just a bit of micromanaging there, and that is favouring Matty Clark slightly. He's got that down to 4.2 seconds, sorry. So Matty Clark's full rich home. He's comfortably going to get this plus one lap if Betterfield decides to press on a little bit. So Matty Clark's super safe. Harry is safe on a predictive number if it runs out to that. Yeah, so at the moment it's not giving any more than 38 predictive laps. So I'm going to call Harry good. However, Matty can just run a little bit harder at this point. Doesn't have to worry about the average, and you could see that by way of Matty Clark sort of stepped into the 4.3, 4.4 average versus Harry's 4.2. So Matty's burning it up at the moment, and he's got it on board to do so. So 4 seconds
It does
flat.
look like he's closing the gap as well there, J-Man, doesn't it?
He definitely is. Once again, a little wide at turn one was Matty Clark. He is not leaving anything out there. And rightfully so, because he can see Harry Lawrence up through the next phase of corners. And Harry having to just contend with these hypers coming through. We've mentioned it before, can upset the apex and the braking performance and ability of the GT3 cars. They are very, very strong down to the apex. Get a read on those times at the moment. Okay, last lap through for Benefield. 48.7, 49.2 for Bewley. Margin stretched out to just under 29 seconds now, so gives us a bit of a read late in the race of what the pace of Dan Benefield has got over Bewley, and I reckon Bewley will be pressing on quite hard here.
I definitely would have loved to seen Bewley versus Dan this race, because they're very, very similar in race trim, aren't they there, J-Man?
They are. They are. A big gap for Noah Reid over the rest of the GT3 field. He's done a nice job here. Matty Clark watches Harry Lawrence tip it into the final turn. So that gap has now all of a sudden become 4 seconds down to 2.8 for Matty Clark and Harry Lawrence. So that a bit of a witness mark for Harry, or just a bad lap? 2:04.2. It's definitely a bad lap by his standard. 2:04.2 plays a 2:02.4. So maybe a little sting in the in the tail of this one, boys, at the back end?
Yeah, maybe just like every other race has been very much the same. It all comes down to the final laps, doesn't it?
Yep. Wow, Betterfield drops back into the 47 bracket last lap round, boys, as he wraps up Noah Reid for, I think, a consecutive, what would that be? That'll be the third time, maybe the fourth time, actually. Third time.
I think third or fourth. Third.
So he's on lap 36, and Noah Reid's on lap 32. So there's your answer. Wow, that is impressive.
I'm just impressed at seeing that when you go on to the grid of drivers in the hypercar class, it's got +1, +1, +1. You know, we don't normally get to see that.
No.
Yeah, all the way to. Sorry, what is it?
It's Teggles there,
Teggles?
Davo.
Teggles, Fraser.
Yep.
I think Mitchell's still in front. So. Yeah, interesting stuff.
And it looks like he's got no faults.
No. Yeah, and like I said, we don't see it, do we? I mean, it's just crazy. So hard to wrap your head around. So Bobby Mitchell on camera there, and I think that is actually Chris Fraser, well out of position. Chris Fraser, just in front of Mitchell. And Noah Reid, mind you, actually just sandwiched between them there at the moment as well in the Porsche. So
1.9 seconds, boys, is Harry Lawrence, Matty Clark. And the importance around this one.
Definitely close.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. And continues to do so. So, as we look at that, energy remaining, Harry Lawrence, 22%. Matty Clark, 25%. Noah Reid, 28%. Man, he really is in the business on this one. Fast and efficient. So Crossy's sort of in that territory as well with Harry Lawrence. So he's, I think, pretty safe to get home. He knows he can save. Oh, Hayden Tegg with another moment. That moment there might have just cost Matty a little bit with Will Dixon. I see it stepped out to 2.5 seconds again. And Harry Lawrence won't be impeded by Dixie coming through at all. Big lifts into the final turn. I'm not sure if you picked up on that, Isaac Ichikawa, that time through, but down into Sunset,
did.
Harry Lawrence was on some serious conserve mode there. Almost looks that way into one if I'm picking it up.
Yeah, it does. I do wonder if he's just been a little bit cautious and Matt Clark just full cutting the grass there.
Full send through turn one.
Yeah. Yep. Trying to close that gap between himself and Harry Lawrence.
Oh, Dan Benefield, mate, absolutely impressive. Sets the fastest lap of the race last lap through. 47 with a 3. He's just wound the wick up the back end. Here's our new entry. He said he came with big accolades, and I tell you what, he hasn't shied away from the challenge. He's proved to deliver.
So a little bit of onboard out of Lawrence's car. If you got any questions, boys, the data is on screen, as you can
Yeah.
see. So just coming around these final couple of corners before they get onto this runway straight here.
Oh, he is lifting massively. Okay.
Hmm.
The gap's still
Interesting,
good
'cause-
though.
Yeah, gap is staying pretty much the same now. It's kind of just plateaued out to 2.5 seconds there.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Half a lap with Harry Lawrence. Time is ticking. 4 minutes to go here in this race.
I wonder if Harry's read something here and he thinks. No, I was going to say if he thinks it's going to go further, but I don't think it is, based on his proximity and where the thing is, because he's good. He needs around about 11.7% to get home based on the predictive. He's got 15 in the tank. I tell you what, that gap just shrunk.
Maybe
though,
he's
didn't it?
just thinking with. Yeah, it definitely did. Maybe the only thing I can think of there, J-Man, is maybe he's thinking with the pace of Dan out in the hypercars, he's just being a little bit cautious.
Mm. Speaking of which, we'll have a look at that. Dan's predictive. 42. He's lap 40 of 42. And just picking up where he is. Okay, sector 2, sector 1, sector 1.
But he will lap them again. He definitely will lap.
Yeah, he will.
And I think that might mean that Harry Lawrence and that will have to do another lap, possibly.
Yep.
Can't remember exactly how it all pans out.
Oh, and if that's the case, Harry Lawrence at that time probably needed. He needed just over half a litre more, half a percent more. Sorry, about 0.6 more based on the predictive. So I wonder if, yeah, I gotta wonder actually whether Harry's read into that already.
Yeah, probably looking at the pace. Yeah, I suspect so. Smart operators, these boys, J-Man.
Yeah.
Buell intersection, second there. Will Dixon currently running in third over George Goddard, Robbie Mitchell, Chris Fraser, and Hayden Tagg. Rounding out the hypers there, Noah Reid continues to lead the GT class here. Only less than 2 minutes to go. Lauren, Makalos, Clark.
Where is Benefield? Oh, he is going to get to them, isn't he, Isaac?
Yeah, he will just in the nick of time, I think. So then it'll be interesting to see if on the data, if it shows plus one more lap. So instead of 38, which is what it's currently showing, if it'll say 39.
Mm.
The boys hard at it with the MATCHFIT abacus here in the background. Viewers, surely you can hear the beads are clicking away there. Doing their best to sort of understand what's right down to the wire. It might be not a race on track, but in a fuel tank size or VE storage size, isn't it, boys?
Yeah, it definitely is, and it looks like Benefield might get them down. No, not quite.
Nah, they're safe. They're safe. Big lifts once again for Harry Lawrence into one. What is he on? He is on 7%, so one could argue he's super safe.
So did he just he's crossed the line for one more lap?
Oh,
Matthew
Right.
Clark.
Like just
yeah, so final lap for Betterfield, and he's going to come through and wrap these boys up for sure. Without a doubt, he's coming into the same section of racetrack through Fangio
so past,
curve.
well, he's just gone past Goddard.
Yeah.
Dixon's still on the charge. Bewley across the start finish line again.
Hang on a minute. If he wasn't to get them, what does that mean? Time has run certain.
So he's gonna finish.
He's gonna finish. He's gonna finish. But
The other
these
boys won't.
finish?
I don't think. I can't remember off the top of my head. Sorry, boys.
Oh, well, we're going to find out very shortly. Now, I tell you what, Betterfield can see them. He's coming up in this final sector. It's going to be incredibly tight as they come out of this next sector, and then they'll head down the back straight. They will, they will head down the Ullman straight down to Sunset. And here he comes. And he may not get there. And we will get an idea of what this actually means. And Noah Reid has started the next lap, so I tell you what it means. They've got to go. They've got to go one more time if he doesn't get them. And Matty Clark is all over Harry Lawrence. Harry Lawrence down to 4%.
Oh, that's just enough, isn't it?
I tell you what, this is what Harry Lawrence was fuel saving for. Dan Betterfield wins the race
We just
comfortably.
just celebrate that with Bewley in a second, still heading down the back straight there. Will Dixon in third, and George Goddard will stand in fifth position there, J-Man. But this is the race here. Reid well out in front, but it's the Lawrence Clark battle here that we're watching. You can see them both in camera there now.
We get a read on it live. I can tell you now that Harry Lawrence and Matty Clark are both on a very similar number, 2.4% and counting down for Harry Lawrence, 2.7 and counting down for Matty Clark. He will go through the finish. Oh, and Harry Lawrence in the fence!
Oh my God.
Massive!
My gosh!
God.
What happened?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. We're going to watch it right.
Well, Sue said something about wrecking. I think it was nerves, but
I think she's got the voodoo doll, maybe.
Just the
The
pins
Harry Voodoo doll.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
What the
God! Just when you
actual-
thought.
Well, there was wisdom to the madness, Isaac. I'm glad we sort of touched on that because I think Harry could read something was going on. Oh my gosh. So there you go. It does go Noah Reid, Matty Clark, Harry Lawrence, because the others had finished already. So as long as he finished the lap, it was a formality, boys, for Harry. In that respect. But getting back to the top, Dan Betterfield over Nathan Bewley, Will Dixon, and got up with a good drive back actually after the drive through. But man, what a night. I mean, how do you, oh my gosh.
My sentiments exactly.
Yeah, I'm sort of just literally sitting here just trying to unpack that. And yeah, I'm a bit lost for words, boys.
Yeah, what the hell happened there? What a finish.
What-
As always, great racing, boys.
Oh, totally.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You just can't script this stuff, hey. I'll tell you, that is
No.
next level.
No.
Right to the end. The drama, the pressure.
Harry said no tyres.
Harry says no.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So that is Dan Benefield, Nathan Bewley, Will Dixon. How about we do something a little bit different here, boys? Do you think we can grab these lads down here, all three of them?
Yeah, I reckon.
All right.
Go for it.
Right. I'll let you start introducing them because it'll take me a minute to filter them in, Isaac. So grab my lead here, mate.
Yep.
I'll chuck them down.
So just introducing the top three. So we've got Will Dixon. We have Nathan Bewley and the new guy joining us this season and hopefully next, Dan. Congratulations, guys, on your positions.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Yeah, I tell you what,
You're
it's
having
absolutely
a great
hosing
battle.
down where Dixie is.
Yeah, just a casual fucking monsoon.
Yeah. Casual monsoon.
Sorry, Isaac, as you were, mate. Grab these boys.
Yeah, so first we just congratulate Daniel on a very solid performance and, just stamping his name, to the racing series with a very, very well done performance in qualifying and in the race. So well done, and give us a little bit of an insight in how you race, and did you have a lot of practice going into Sebring?
I really don't like this track. And I don't think it's that strong for the BMW either. So I was kind of worried about pace, to be honest. But no, the guys fighting for P2 made my life a lot easier because it meant I could just drive away while they battled.
Yeah, solid performance too, Dan. Looked like you sort of had it your way there once those boys and you got to lay those times down. And then Nathan Bewley obviously came home in second in the end and started from the back, opted not to quali. Probably robbed us of a bit of a battle of seeing what you'd stack up with Dan like, but I'm sure we'll get our opportunity. And beautiful drive to come back through but just reached down. I'm looking at the timing tower at the moment, 47.3 race trim. On a track that you don't like, Dan. Nathan, I know you're out there for fun, mate. We certainly have talked to you plenty of times throughout the seasons, and I tell you what, you put on plenty of entertainment with Georgie and Dixie there for a bit. But man, I tell you what, that hyperclass is certainly stacked up. Getting towards the business end of the season, you would have had a good time out there, mate.
Yeah, I had an awesome time, It's like near the end of the season, it's like, oh, just have a bit of fun these last couple of races. I'm probably just going to start from the back and all the rest of the races. Just a bit of fun, and yeah, just racing, It was like, yeah, pretty awesome. I mean, I seen Will had a little bit of contact, I think, with one of the GT cars, and I was able to get by, and then I like caught up to George, and then I like passed him, but then there was like a yellow flag, and I was like, oh, that's a bit dodgy by me passing him under the yellow, so I was like, I'll just give it back. And then yeah, it looked like we were all pretty much fighting, and then yeah, I don't know what happened to George. It looked like he got like a penalty or something, so that kind of robbed us of like a good freeway fight at the end there.
Yeah, so talk to us about that, Dixie. Was that pitch the rears, having a battle with Georgie and Nathan there, coming down into the right-hander, and unfortunately just exchanged a little bit of paint with Gunther?
Yeah, first of all, sorry to Gunther, but yeah, the three of us were going to the inside, and I don't know whether he was trying to just tuck in behind George, and I panicked a bit and just locked the rears and had a bit of sideways contact to him. So yeah, hopefully it didn't give him any damage there.
Yeah, he'll struggle to sleep tonight after that one, I'm sure. But no, hey, look, fantastic performance from you boys. Really, honestly, it was one of the ones that's going to stick out for me tonight. Obviously, the introduction of Dan Benefield coming and just showing us, what sort of pace can be run out there, and the battle back through from yourself, Dixie, Burley. I mean, Georgie probably deserves a spot up here for a chat because he was definitely in the mix.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, you guys put on a hell of a show for the broadcast team tonight, and it was fantastic to watch. And yeah, like I said, congratulations on that. Obviously, starting at the top, Dan, we always save a slot for you boys. If you want to shout out any of your sponsors, supporters, we'll go back down through the field. They're starting from first position. If you got anyone to shout out, mate, you boys, now's your chance.
You've put me on the spot. I need to go find the sponsors section now in our Discord.
he's all prepared.
Okay, maybe Dixie first, then Burley, and we'll come back to you, Dan. Let you get organised.
Yeah, but, yeah. That's okay.
Oh yeah, just the Rainlight Racing boys, hosting all this shit. It must be a mission, and for you guys turning up each week and doing some good commentating. It's great, and Isaac for popping in as well.
Cheers, Will.
He's
Appreciate
a
that,
fresh
mate.
face, mate. He's a fresh face. We love him here. We reluctantly release him every now and then, Dixie, to come and have a race. Yeah.
Just stay out of the hypercars, mate.
Oh.
Yeah.
See
Nathan,
what happens. See what happens next.
Too many
week, mate.
fast boys.
Yeah, Nathan, I'm sure you probably want to thank someone. I mean, there's always a good, you're a humble dude, but there's got to be someone that's, mate. I mean, how you haven't got a list of sponsors yet? It astounds me.
No, guys, no, mate. I just come here for fun, Just for me, no sponsors or anything like that. Yeah, pretty much the same sentiment as well. The admin team from the Rainlight guys who put this on. Obviously, we don't see a lot of the back end stuff that they do, but it must be a challenge, and for them to keep on bringing even these last couple of races, it looks like we're gonna have a couple more cars. That's awesome. Even partway through the season, so good on them. And then obviously the other drivers for turning up, because we're the ones that make the show, So
Absolutely.
good on you, everybody, for turning up.
Yeah, you are.
And then you guys as well,
Oh,
watch the streams back, and like you said, you sometimes let Isaac out the kennel. Sometimes he's like, nope, yank that boy back in here. Nope, you're not allowed.
Yeah. No, he's a stable part of our
Lucky
diet
I'm on the
Monday night.
payroll, Nathan. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, mate, just send a couple my way, mate. If you're on the payroll.
And Dan's got his paperwork in order, I'm sure, right now. So Dan, let it rip, mate. Who's behind the man, and how you go about it?
So firstly to our sponsors at Seawolf Net Race, so Seawolf Safari, Mr. Coffee, Lino, and RSR Photos. And obviously the Rainlight Racing guys and you guys as well for putting the broadcast on.
Awesome, mate. Awesome.
Legend.
And yeah, looking forward to next week already, boys, because that was a hell of a show. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, boys.
See you next week.
See you, boys.
So there you go.
There you go.
Righto. I'm going to drag the next slot in. So it'll be Harry Lawrence, it'll be Noah Reid, and it'll be Matty Clark. Not in that specific order. It will be Reedy over Clarkey,
Go on.
over Hazza, whose rear tyres fell off late in the piece. But boys, you put on a show tonight. Noah, I'm going to start with you. The pace, mate, obviously got away, got the nice jump, checked on, pressed on with it. You must be feeling good about that performance.
I am definitely feeling good about that performance. I had some good pace early on. I closed the brake ducts a little bit for the start of the race because I knew it was going to be cold. It was going to be like freezing, so I could just get those tires fired up early. But then, of course, in the last 15 minutes, I'm sure you saw it turn into a bit of a slip and slide show. So a bit of a race of two halves in that respect.
Yeah, did the damage early though, Reedy, and sort of certainly made it count. And you other two blokes, so Harry Lawrence, Matty Clark. I tell you what, first and foremost, I'll get to you, Matty. But Harry, did you read that potentially Daniel wasn't going to get to you guys, and that was one more because we saw a definite energy saving option there a little bit early on. Was that sort of a little bit of a surprise?
Yeah, I was keeping tabs on where Daniel was, and I didn't think he was going to get us, but he was a bit closer than I expected to. So he was just a second off getting Matt. So Nah, that's just nothing in it. I mean, that means I keep third, but I was fuel saving like mad for the last 5-6 laps.
Yeah.
Tires were completely dead, so and I had all the damage from my lack of concentration early on. So
Yes, we did pick that up, Harry. Yes.
yeah, so it was just a struggle central, and the car had snapped maybe 2 times through that little section.